For tonight's theme, I thought we would talk about retreating, because in chess, a lot of the times there's really strong moves where you go backwards. And I mean, it's so easy in chess to just think forwards because their king is on that side. The fastest route is just to go forward. And so very often people miss backwards moves or retreating moves. And for whatever reason with the human brain, there is something about knight retreats that are just particularly difficult. So we'll see, at least some of these will be some knight retreats. Welcome back. Okay, we'll go over to the board. I guess we'll stop painting by number. That's basically all we're gonna do. I mean, all the classes don't get taped, we just paint by number, so I had to get my practice doing that. And we'll look right now at the game. This was a game that was played between Alexey Shirov and Vladimir Akopian. That's Akopian with a P, not Akopian, who'll be lecturing here in an hour. But this is Shirov Akopian, and it is white to move in this position. So the class has already had a little bit of time to look at it. I'll give you guys another minute or two, and then we'll discuss the position. So it is white to move. And I would ask you to assess the position. Is white winning, drawing, losing? What is white really playing for here? What's the assessment? And we'll come back and then we'll talk about what white's plan should be. Yeah, very well said. White, we don't know if he's winning, but he can at least hold a draw. You had something to say? Yeah, so white definitely has, that's the big thing. So we got a 3-on-2 going on over on the queen side here, so that's a big issue. And the fact that we're up a pawn is also a huge plus as white. So it's very aptly said. I mean, maybe this is a win, maybe it's a draw. But at the very least, white should not be losing in this position. So whether he can win with this advantage over here is yet to be seen. We can imagine sometimes if the bishop can't get back, as was stated here, to come get these pawns. If the king, gets sort of delayed, he goes over here to protect the pawn or something. White will be able to crash through and make a pawn, either with a move like c5. Let's make it green. I like it green. And if you take, we can push and we can end up and we can go make a pawn. We can also consider starting with a5 sometimes, but we do have this possibility of creating a passer. It's not quite going to work out if the black king is in time to run back into this zone and stop the pawns. But that is a huge part of the position, so that's the first step. Yeah, king f2, and that's exactly what was played. This does prevent black from getting his bishop into the game. Now the bishop is really sealed out of the game, and that causes a big problem for black. And, okay, in the game, he took this pawn, which is not really the best move. I probably should have played king f4, just improved his king. He's still close enough to go stop the pawns. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this move, king to d4? He's going to lose his passer? Yeah, how do you want to start? We want to start pushing these pawns. c5. This just wins on the spot. Yeah. Okay, I mean, yeah, because if you just take, we just push. And the king is now not in time to go back there and stop the pawns. So this would just win on the spot. However, this would have been a far superior move, and it's still unclear that white can actually win this position, so this is probably black's best bet in this position. But, okay, he played here. So if this works, if this forces a draw, then very good for black. Now, again, in my preparation for these lectures, I try to gauge the level by showing these puzzles to people in the 18 to 2000 rated range, just to see how they do with the puzzles. And one person was unable to find the answer here, and the other person was able to find it rather quickly. So I suppose it's not the easiest move in the world, because it's people higher rated than most of the class here had some difficulty with it. So. Yeah. Yes.
King takes f3.
Yeah, king takes f3.
H2, then king g2.
Excellent.
And then if he takes, you can go back.
Okay, excellent. So you kind of spoiled the answer here. Hopefully they didn't hear it. Did they hear it? Good thing we're not. Okay, so he did find the move here. So go ahead and you might want to pause your videos at home, and we'll go ahead and give the answer out here. The winning move, as stated. Good job, Owen. King g2, a retreating move that perhaps black missed because, okay, you're hanging your knight. I do want to show first the problems that you might experience with either knight retreat. These both seem very tempting. Okay, I mean, doesn't matter. They're exactly the same. Knight to f2. Let's just say, for example, well, now I play king d4. This isn't very easy for white. Now white actually has to try to play for the draw here. You know, you have to be the one that's trying to go for the draw because black just simply goes and he takes all of your pawns. And or if you ask your computer, they'll be like, yeah, this is some draw. The knight is in time. He takes your pawns. You're in time to go up there and, you know, get your knight into a close enough location that you can force a draw because the black king has to waste so much time. And okay, white is just in time to go back and get there. But this obviously isn't what white was playing for. He had this monster advantage. So that retreat would not be correct. But perhaps just this king retreat in this position was missed by Mr. Akopian. And this just wins cleanly. So maybe he just missed it because, okay, obviously we can take this. But now the winning move is what? C5. And okay, we can look at taking it. In the game, he didn't take, which makes it sort of easy. You just take this and, okay. Here, black resigned. The white king just forces his way in, forces the king out of the way, and the pawn promotes. It is, okay, it's of slight interest to take here. I think the next move is kind of easy. A5. All right, I'll go here just because this is b6. I'll take it. You want to take it?
No, push.
Much better. So taking it here is wrong. There you go. Let's go all the way down the board, and everybody queens. So this should be a draw. Because okay, we can take this pawn with either piece. But yeah, so the winning move was, of course, promoting with check. So you don't need to take it. You can just go promote with check, and this should be a win for white. Okay, so that was the first example of a nice retreat that perhaps was just overlooked even by a very strong player. He was 2605 at the time of this game, and he must have thought, all right, I go here, and then the knight has to retreat, and I get to go collect his pawns. But it wasn't that clear. The king retreat was what the opponent missed. All right, very good. We'll move on. So this will be our second game. After the motorcycle gang goes by, we'll get this. Oh, but with your mic, maybe they could hear that motorcycle gang. They can hear it? All right, yeah, jack it up. So this is the game between David Navara and Anish Giri from the European Team Championship 2013. Very good players. We'll be looking at it from Giri's perspective. He had the black pieces here. It was a draw. What's really funny too is I've showed this to 3 or 4 people. That was everybody's immediate thing. Oh, it's a draw. Okay, obviously people like to joke that Anish draws a lot based on some of his most recent performances. But he's a very strong player, and he did win this game. So he doesn't always just draw. Okay, so white played rook c1, attacking the bishop. We'll just show a couple moves so we can get the feel for the game. Bishop d4. A move which might not have been obvious to people because, I mean, sure, it does look like, ooh, good trade for me, you know, a knight for a bishop. But with the rook coming in and aiming at 2 targets, this would help black win a pawn. So he's not really super interested in taking the bishop. Also, he's not interested in blundering his rook. So here an interesting move. Interesting decision by white. Not bad at all. h4. So he's preventing ideas like g5, g4, undermining the protection of e5. And my question for you guys, and we'll take a minute here or so, can black take on b2? I guess that's one of the questions. I mean, white did not do anything about the pawn that was attacked. So should you take on b2, or is there a better move? I'll give you guys a minute here, and you can pause your video at home for additional time. Right, so here's exactly the idea. If you take on b2, this is white's idea, rook b1, and bishop anywhere, and the rook's going to take on b7. That's the idea. So should you still take on b2, or did you guys have another move that you wanted to suggest? Okay. Okay, interesting. Knight e7 to d5. This is your idea? Right. So rook c7 is bad, you say? I mean, so, yeah. So this isn't so bad. I mean, I don't know. I can probably just not lose my pawn. You have a dark squared bishop. I could go on a light square. You want to take my pawn still? I don't know what I would do, but okay. Let's just give this to you for a second. You want to go here? Ooh. What if I take here? I'm attacking your bishop. You take what? My bishop? You want to take this pawn? And now everybody's like super confused. Knight c3? What does that do? Okay. And then you think I'm gonna? I don't know. Am I winning? I have a lot more pawns, and I'm taking all your pawns. So it's funny, yeah, so I can't move my pieces, but you have to use both of your pieces. And at some point, I'm gonna kick this guy away, and then. So yeah, I think I defended properly there. So that's actually, it's an interesting idea. I didn't have this idea. I don't think it's quite the strongest move. It wasn't played in the game. In the game, and I tried to trick you guys a little bit. So Mario walking in the door, you might know the answer, just because I didn't trick you. I didn't use verbal trickery. Do you know what black should play here? Say bishop takes b2. And then hope the editor doesn't cut this out. Ah, good move. Good job. Mario Roper, we'll say. Okay, this was played in the game. So obviously he sees white's little trick, but he allows it. So what's the point? Rook b1. Bishop went back. And again, if you take the bishop, my rook comes up to d4 and at least wins a pawn. So he took. And it's chess, so that's why I like to trick you guys, because that's how chess works. Okay, so what was black's point? Why did he allow this? He traps the rook and takes it. Okay, how are you going to do it? Bishop b6. Excellent, that was played. And okay, so it seems kind of unfortunate here. There's actually a couple different ways that white can escape the danger here. Okay, in the game he tried e6. A strong sacrifice, just opening up his pieces. Probably don't have to take. But he took. I mean, why not take the pawn? Excellent. And here, a mistake. This is actually fine for white. His rook is not quite getting trapped. But after this move, it appears that the player with white has missed something. So we'll see if the audience can see what a very strong player did not see in the game. He had a certain blind spot. Okay, how do you win the exchange? Knight a5, which does appear very good. I suppose I'll move. And yeah, if you're looking at all the safe squares that my rook has, this is how we can start to think that maybe it will be trapped. I only have one, so I'll go there. And king f8, I take this. So this, you don't like your move. Okay, so it's not quite right, but that's obviously sort of feels like it'll be a part of the solution. Yeah, how do we trap the rook?
I kept wanting to play king f8.
Oh, I see it. I see
Okay.
it. Rook, no, it's
Let's-
rook d1.
All right, we'll give Dennis's move a try here. King f8. It seems pretty decent, and now you are ready with this idea of trapping the rook. So I will take this. Now, if you move here, your a pawn isn't defended, so I can at least take that. I'll just take your knight. Yeah, or take the rook. I can take everything. Probably take the knight. I could take anything I want though, and then I win.
Okay. Can I say what it is?
Yeah.
Rook d1 check.
Rook d1 check. Excellent. I mean, okay, only realistic move. What did you say? Knight d8. An excellent retreating move. And on d8, not only do we attack the rook, but we attack we protect the pawn. So even when you go to the only square, now king f8 just works, and the rook would be trapped. Which I believe is so in the game he just gave up an exchange this way, and up the extra material, he was able to convert this as black here. Also, this also is funny. Somebody couldn't figure out this move either. What if I play here? Okay. Joke's on you. I'm out. There. How come that was so easy for you guys? Just because it's easy? Okay, so that was just a very good example, and it would appear what kind of made this work too is, well, now that this diagonal is wide open, that gave us the additional trick that we needed, which was to make sure on rook b8 that we had this check going on. All right, see you, Owen. And again, it's these sort of knight moves, these backwards knight moves are really difficult for a lot of people, and okay, even extraordinarily good players have missed some of these backward moves in their careers here. We'll go to the last example for the night. This is the game between Aron Nimzovich and Akiba Rubinstein, and it was played in 1926. These players have played each other quite a lot, some of the best players of their time, so it's a very interesting position, and we'll go a few moves. I like to give you guys just a little bit of the plot. And all right, in this position, white took a little bit more space, makes a lot of sense. Castles. Queen f3, so white is playing on the king side. He's gained a lot of space over there. Very good. Develops his last piece. And now f5, sort of challenging the amount of space that white has. All right, the rook came over to e1. And after the exchange here, we'll pause for a minute. And again, I would kind of like for the audience once more to kind of give me the assessment. So before we start looking for the move, let's spend a couple minutes just trying to assess who's better, or which pieces are good or bad. Who's got the better pawn structure, say for king. Any sort of normal tools that you would use to assess the position. If you can identify any aspects of the position, it might be really helpful going forward. So first I want to hear the assessment, and then we'll try to come up with a plan here for white. Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very well said. Yeah, I mean, so white does have the open file. Good bishop. The queen also is very good. She might be able to come in here sometimes. That's a great piece. This rook has a future. This knight is, okay, he's not the greatest, but he is at least keeping some control over b4, which, could be important, so that's okay. And yeah, if black does have his chances too. If he can ever sink a knight into one of these squares, then perhaps he will be doing very good. So I mean, yeah. So white is a little bit better here, I would say. So this one is going to be sort of a strategical puzzle, which is good because I guess this class is strategy session. So occasionally I'll teach strategy in this class. But okay, but we'll see if anyone can come up with a plan for white. I don't want to give away too much just yet. I'll give you guys a chance, and at home, pause your video. And I suppose too, it's worth asking. You know, in a position like this, when you're just seeing it now for the first time, how do you make a plan? I mean, what really is going on in your mind? How do you actually come to a conclusion for what sort of plan you should take? I mean, are you just looking for just a right move, or are you thinking somehow about the position in a different way? And I'd say, so one of the most basic elements in planning and just chess strategy in general is when you see a position like this, or any position really, and black doesn't have any immediate threats. If black had some immediate tactical threat, or we had to worry about our safety of our king or something, the situation might be different. We need to very accurately, concretely calculate his threats and defend against them. Or if we're checkmating them, we just need to calculate all the way till checkmate. But as it is, black doesn't really have any threats in this position. Sort of a stagnant position. Center is relatively closed here. There's one open file that's being used for the rooks right now. C file also could be used in the future. But due to the closed nature, really, there's a lot of time for maneuvering. So we want to kind of figure out, so if we're white, what is our worst place piece? So just, if you can think about that for a minute. And then just imagine, you can pick it up, you can put it anywhere you want, you can teleport, however you want to think about it. What would the dream square be for your worst place piece? And in general, this is one of the best ways to go about finding a plan in any position. Just take a piece that's on a bad square, find the best square for it, and put it there. Which is sort of oversimplified, but it's actually can really help you out a lot if you're having difficulty coming up with plans. Yeah.
I think white's going to be to round up the D pawn.
Round up the D pawn. Okay, you want to attack this?
So I kind of want to go bishop E1 to F2.
Okay, so you want to bring the bishop over here.
Our bishop is pretty bad. So.
Okay. Yeah, he's not the best. I mean, he has some purpose here, but let's go ahead and run with this this idea for a minute. Okay, I'll just complete my development just to see. And you want to play bishop F2? Yeah. So unfortunately, I feel like this might be an issue. So this just, I guess, tactically doesn't work. You undefend this guy. It's an interesting idea, though. I mean, okay.
Okay, I think the bishop D2 is not great, but like you said, he has purpose. He's
Yeah, he has some.
D4 and he's holding D4 as well. The knight G3 looks really awesome.
Yeah, this is sort of an awkward piece. This knight on G3. He's definitely not the hero of this particular position here. He's sort of offside. He's not really. Where's he going? I mean, where's he really going? Now,
asking, like, the answer to the teleport question.
Yes, so that's what we're looking for. The answer to the teleport question. If we can pick this up, let's just pick up our knight. Let's put it wherever we want. Where would we put it if we can cheat a little bit?
Well, F7 check and then get oh, no,
F7 check, losing your. Yeah.
E5, if E5 was just protecting one more time. E5, bit better.
E5, D5.
Central squares are pretty good.
Central squares are pretty good. We do want a nice, safe, permanent home. E6. I mean, okay, so even if you can do that, you fork to me, but I mean, I have to give him my bishop. So, I mean, okay, that is sort of one of the, a good square that we might want to go to, and, the position might change a little bit, and that might be a good square.
Okay, or G4 is not a horrible square.
G4 is a horrible square. But you meant G5. Yeah, that's a great outpost for a knight. And you'll notice even if we give it this position, I mean, look how great our bishop is cutting you off. Let's just put this guy here for a second. Even if you play h6, yeah, the queen comes in, and it pins, so you can't even take the knight. So yeah, these squares that we identified, these are definitely a part of the solution here. Those are good squares for the knight to get there. Exactly. So the question is, how do we figure it out? What's the move order? How do we get our knight to one of those squares? Exchange bishops, which one and how?
Maybe if white plays bishop e6 in exchange.
What? You want to play bishop e6. So, I mean, I would assume this was a very nice piece. Why did you want to give this guy away?
Because I want to put pressure on you.
You want to put pressure on the e-file? I mean, I do have a retreat. That would be funny. But okay, but if I just play a move like this. Oh, wait, no, this blunders. I blundered. Yeah, I'll retreat. That's funny. It's the theme of the lecture, so I'll retreat because it's funnier. I don't know. I mean, I really liked this bishop. I don't feel, okay, even if I don't play that, I place just any random move or whatever. I don't feel like that was a very good trade for you as white, because this bishop is awesome. You know, he's cutting off the king. That's going to be very useful in a lot of lines. So, you know, and that's also worth considering. Which pieces do you want to trade and which ones do you not? And I think the first piece that people noticed was a really good piece when we asked was this bishop. I mean, it's your best piece. So, you know, I don't want to trade the best piece off for a piece that hasn't even moved yet. And it's my best piece.
So I think we should play knight h1.
You think we should play knight h1? Really? In a retreating class? What's your path?
f2, h3, g5.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
Knight h1.
Always play knight h1. Yeah, it's a Feingold favorite move. And here it is, the correct answer. Knight h1. So look at that.
Is that in the maneuvering chapter in my system?
Is it? I think this might be in my system. I think it is. I'm not sure. It's not where I found it, but I think it is in that book.
Maybe I know he had a game with Rubinstein.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, why wouldn't it be? This is like his greatest maneuver ever. So, okay, black gets on, develops his piece.
So basically, improve your worst.
Yes, improve your worst piece. So, yeah, don't trade your best pieces for their pieces that aren't so great. Put your bad pieces on better squares. And if you have bad pieces, you can trade for their good pieces. Like, I think, too, and even if we go back to this initial position, if black just said, let's just take both of these guys off the board, that'd be good for black. I mean, you got rid of one of your best pieces. So even if we just cheated and we took both the bishops off, the light squared bishop for white is a lot better, so that'd be just a good deal for white. Okay, knight to f2. All right, and black contests the e-file. So white keeps control of it. Okay, so white still owns the file. He trades one rook. And now he goes here. Why didn't he go here? Can somebody tell me?
Because you want to keep the rook and you prefer the knight to be on e6.
I mean, why doesn't black want to maybe trade the rook? You know, maybe he wants to trade some stuff because he's got the worst position here. Maybe he doesn't like white's pressure. So, I mean, this seems like a natural enough move. I mean, please trade.
Rook takes queen d5.
Rook takes and queen d5. Excellent. Yeah, this is really, really powerful for white. Okay, and you can play a move like this, but you're losing your pawn. So this would be good for white. Also funnier, I don't know if it's better or not, but funnier is queen d5. Just with the idea, so again, you can't even take my rook because this checkmate. But yeah, so that's the idea. So that's good. I mean, yeah, so he can't even really challenge the file, at least not yet. So he went to d8, retreating. He's a pro. But the bishop's going to come to c6. So he's probably thinking, well, this isn't such a great piece. You know, he's coming up with a plan. He's like, well, this looks like a great diagonal for a bishop, which is true. So he goes back to d8. Now knight h3. We're getting closer to g5. Now bishop c6. Exactly, yeah, that was played. Queen h5, yeah, so it's becoming easy to play itself. It's g6. And, okay, this is a sort of move you want to see with white. It's a bit weakening. Our dream would be one day on this diagonal, maybe something will happen if this guy could disappear and our bishop could go to c3 or somehow get on that diagonal. Well, then we'd be living the dream. We'd be able to take advantage of this weakness here. Yeah, so, yeah, h6, h4, whichever. He went here for a specific reason we'll understand on the next turn here. King g7. Knight g5 is very tempting, and it's probably pretty good. I assumed the reason for Black's last move was to kind of fight against this idea. You can play a move like h6. And you can go here, and okay, but I didn't really want to trade that knight. It's not exactly what I wanted to do. Also, I mean, I don't really want to go back. I mean, I can retreat. But I mean, how's that really going to work out for me? This isn't exactly what I dreamed of when I was coming up with my impressive knight maneuver. So he has a little bit of patience. Okay, so I understand. I go here, he plays h6, and my knight might come off the board. So he came up with an even stronger move here. So you do want to be paying attention to your opponent's threats too. I mean, knight g5 is the move you want to look at it. And then when you see h6, you want to maybe rethink the move here. So an even stronger move. So this is a very powerful move.
How about bishop a5?
Bishop a5. You got a little tactic here.
Well, I want to play
Rook e7. Okay. And this is an idea that will sort of be introduced into the position in a minute here. But I'll take it. I'll go here. Did you see this position when you went for this? Because I guess this was sort of a forced line.
Then I could play queen. Well, no, because they had queen money back there.
Yeah, right. So here doesn't work because, yeah. So that's not quite right. But that is an element in the position. So going forward, that actually is sort of an idea that we're going to see. We do see, the squares we want our pieces to go to. For the moment, that's just not quite working because I just take all your stuff. And so here's a really surprising move. So if you haven't found it at home, go ahead and pause your video if you want to keep looking. But the move queen f2 is a very powerful retreat. Okay, we're prodding at the d pawn. But also, we're going to force one of your pieces to go passively defend the pawn, which is very important for us at this point. And the piece that perhaps makes the most sense is the bishop. So this is sort of a very important position now. So okay, we've been improving our position. And now, b4. So we're trying to force you to an even worse position. Go away on this diagonal. Don't even think of ever coming back to this good diagonal. Just go away. Okay, good. So white has very slowly, methodically improved the position. And now he actually missed an instant win. So this is a blemish on the game. Somehow I'm still showing you, even though his chess artistry points went down for this one. I did show Jason Woolham games, so I mean the show has been to some pretty low places, Actually, what I liked about that one too is he put it in the beginner playlist. That was great, instead of like the intermediate playlist. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, yeah, so that was great. Yeah, Ben Simon got you good. So I mean, does anyone see the instant kill? I think it's something that we might be able to find.
Is it tactical?
It's tactical. I mean, it's not It's not sacrificing anything. It's just playing a powerful move. I guess it's tactical. It's an attacking move. And he did sort of the same idea, but he allowed black to play a slightly better defense.
Yeah. Queen h4, threatening that rook e7
Yeah, this is
again.
yeah. So this was the game.
All right.
Right, exactly. Threatening to put a rook on e7. I'm still holding my queen, but rook to e7. So that was the game. That was the game. Excellent. Yeah, that's the game.
Well, okay, Nimzovich this or something better. Right?
Yeah.
What's the better?
And I won't tell you nothing. Well, what did black play in this position? That's the question. So again, we got to think about our opponent's plans. You know, our plans are great, but if we don't take into account what black's going to play, I mean, what's the point? How's black going to defend against the threat of this incursion? Rook e8. So this is the game. Okay, and black is defended somewhat. White is obviously better here. And we'll come back because that was indeed the game.
Now I want to know what the killer blow.
But yeah, now we want to know what the killer blow is. So make rook e7 better. We want to play rook e7, but we don't want him to do that. See, that's why we need the other microphone, because then you'll hear, you can make all sorts of random noises. This one doesn't pick it up.
Good. I mean,
It's good for you this week, but
good for the audience too.
yeah. Yeah, but at home they want to hear all your noises, though, you know? Yeah. It makes them feel like they're really in the room. They don't understand the weird noises that are being made.
How about
Yeah.
Queen E1?
Ah, how about Queen E1? Even Jason Willem thought about it, but didn't have the guts. And notice how that is prevented this defense. And this just is crushing. You can't play here because then I take twice and you lose material. And okay, the next move is here and resigns.
And there's still their maneuvers.
There's just
either way, they're both maneuvers. Like
both maneuvery stuff.
It's not like
Yeah, they're both maneuvery. Yeah. And so yeah, and again, he had the right idea. He just I don't know if he overlooked this defense or he just didn't consider Queen E1 or underestimated it. He probably wants his queen on H4, but she can go there in the future. After going to E1, she can go back to H4 in certain lines. So he did miss, the immediate crushing win, but okay, this is very pleasant for white. I mean, white is doing very well. All right, rook's attacked. So rook E5. So he doesn't want to trade. And he's saying, if you take here, which, big mistake, I take. Knight G5, you can do better.
Bishop F5.
Bishop F5, you can do better.
Still do better.
Yeah, you can do better than Bishop F5.
Oh, yeah.
The sound's not on. Oh, Ben Simon, you're so sad. Oh, the sound's not on.
Yeah, don't we just check on H6 first? And then
With
figure
what?
it out after with the queen?
Yeah, go with the queen. And if here, checkmate. If here, this is the prettier way to get yourself checkmated, because I get to use my bishop and I get to do the crisscross applesauce. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, so I'm not taking your rook. I'm not taking your rook. All right, it's poison. And yeah, I do not want to open up this diagonal. Definitely. Okay. Knight F7. I gotta come towards my king. Gonna have to do some defense. I attack your rook. So now what are you gonna do? This is interesting, right? It's getting concrete now. We're gonna make some concrete threats here. Tell that guy to come in. It's white to move. So now this is, let's be concrete. Now we calculate. This is time to calculate now. Because white now has a winning position. But how well can we calculate? Yeah. Bishop takes f7. Yeah, exactly. Which is perfect. Okay, strategically, if we can't get ourselves out of strategy mode, it's like, well, okay, great bishop. Why would you give up your great bishop? We're talking about how great he is. Well, now we have a real concrete reason. The knight is going to g5. We're going to have lots of threats. Okay, I mean, so he takes back. And, I mean, now we just have some real concrete threats here. And did you see the follow-up? Knight g5, absolutely. Queen g8. What's your worst placed piece here if you're white? The queen? She's. What do you mean? She's. Queen's good. Knight, fantastic. Rook, very good. The bishop, the lonely bishop, who can't decide what color he should be in life. So what's our worst placed piece? I mean, it's the bishop, yeah? I mean, we've discovered this. And so again, let's try to figure out, where do we want it? Where could we put that bishop? C3 would be good if there's not a pawn here. Yeah, that's obviously fantastic diagonal. And that is part of the answer. C1 to B2, and then, you know, you're not really making a threat by doing this. Mm-hmm. All right, and I'll tell you this move. I'll give you this move. Okay, he traded the rooks. Okay, I'll give you this one. You want to play knight takes? That's your move? Okay, I will take queen e7. I defend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, something very tricky. Okay, he starts with another improving move. The bishop's going to come into play, but let's make one more strong move first. Let's activate the queen. Let's come a different way. Bishop went to c6, and now first the check, and then I think you've hit on the idea. b5. A fantastic move, and I mean, look at this route, axis route we've given to our bishop. So in the game, he didn't take this. If you take I mean, however you want to take this. This is just too dangerous. I mean, we're coming in. We're going like this. I might also want to preface this with a move like this, just to prevent, you know, any defense that you might have. And all right, how are you going to end up stopping this? This is just going to be kind of painful for you. So yeah, b5, and his opponent just decided, okay, queen g7, foregoing the piece, and okay, I mean, a piece up, the game is over. So he simply traded and took the piece. And up a piece, he had no problems converting this. And he went on to win. So again, just to go back to the critical position, which is before all of this, this was, again, sort of a more strategical solution to the puzzle. So we found our worst placed piece. We found the best square for him. We rerouted. And at some points, we were willing to get tactical once we figured out real concrete solutions to the problems. And it was a very nice end to a very, very strategical and well-played game. So I hope that gives you some ideas about retreating and helps you overlook some of your blind spots that sometimes people have. They have a hard time looking backwards. So yeah, if you liked it, go ahead and hit like, share, subscribe. tell all your friends, and see you guys next week.